tonight, and I've just come home and I've got a parcel, so I've just brought it down to put it into the greenhouse. But there's just one other person working down here, and it's nearly dark. I know it doesn't show up on the camera, but it's nearly dark, and it's actually starting to rain as well, which is quite nice, because we haven't had rain for a while. So I'm just going to pop this into the greenhouse and just have a quick look at the plot. Look at this. In the near dark, the daffodils and tulips are still lit up. And this is Prince William, something I put in last year, and that's in flower. That wasn't in flower yesterday when I was down. Just amazing what a day can change on the allotment. I can only just about see this. 42.7 is the warmest it's been today, and the coldest is 9.2, and the temperature now is 16 degrees, which will stay in this greenhouse and eke out throughout the night. Let me put the light on. I need to give this shed a clean out as well. Right, just have a look in this mouse trap. Anything? No, nothing there. Nice bit of drizzle. What I can smell now is the smell of rain hitting the ground that's been baked all day by the sunshine. I think this could be the first time in a week that I've seen rain. But I'm not going to spend too long down here tonight. It was just to drop off those plants and check on the mice. But it's beautiful to come down at different times at the allotment and to experience it at different times of the day. In a few weeks I want to be down here about 4:30 in the morning to film the dawn chorus, or to record the dawn chorus anyway. So, right, let's switch off the light and then head home. I don't think I'm going to see Rusty today. He's probably stuck in his bed somewhere. So I'll see you tomorrow. Well, it's positively freezing today compared to the weather that we have had. I must remember to sow some lettuce today. I keep forgetting to do it. I can see Jeff's down. He's got his grass cutter out. Vivi hasn't been down the plot that often recently due to a bad back, so Jeff is just helping her out by mowing her grass. Now Rusty was sniffing down here a minute ago. Look at that. Is that what I think it is there? Can you see it? I think that could be a dead mouse. Today I'm sowing Nicotiana. It's one of the first flowers that I ever grew in the garden. It's about 90 centimetres tall, and you can sow it from February to April, and it flowers from June to September, and it's got beautiful pink, red and white flowers. Wonderful. So all I'm doing, because it's a very small seed, I'm just putting a thin layer of compost on top, and then a few squirts of water. I've remembered about the lettuce. Now, this variety is called Lolla Rossa. It's the red lettuce, and I'm putting them into these plug plants. Just make a little hole with your finger and then pop a seed in. Now, this year I'm trying one seed
per station. You can put 2 or 3 and then thin out, but I thought let's try it just for 1 per station, and then it gives me a good idea on seed germination from this company. Now if you want a flower that puts on a good show, I suggest Cosmos. I grew this last year and it really filled the garden up with pink, red and white flowers. So I'm doing some more, so just put them in the soil, layer of compost on top and then some water. With all this sunshine, the weeds are also growing, so a lot of time at the moment is spent with just weeding. I just wanted to highlight this tree for a second and read to you the description on the box. It's a beautiful little tree that will put on a dazzling spring show of star-shaped white flowers, followed by a tasty crop that's ready to pick from early July, and then by glorious autumn foliage. Life is now starting to burst into the garden. The peonies have started growing, the tulips are out, the fourberries in flower. After the cold and long winter that we've had, it's finally good to see the allotment getting back to normal.
I've had a quick look around the garden to see what I can do today, and I've noticed that the mint has started to come back, so all I need to do is just remove all this dead wood from last year and just tidy the plant up. But another job that I've noticed is some of the daffodils have now come to an end and they're starting to produce seed, and we don't want that because we want all the goodness to go back into the bulbs. So all you do is find the daffodil and just put your hand down to the base and then just give it a sharp pull and pull the actual daffodil flower out, and then all the goodness then will go into producing a bigger bulb for next year. You basically do this to all the bulbs in the garden. So like I said, you want the goodness to go into producing bigger bulbs for next year. It doesn't matter that when you pull them up, if you say leave a bit of stalk there, that's okay. But the important thing is just to get rid of these. And it makes the garden look tidy. And it makes you feel that you're now going into summer. Well, the raspberries are looking wonderful. This variety is Glencoe, and it's a summer variety. If you remember, I cut these back last November and tied in the new growth. And the new growth, look at it, it's doing wonderful. So I'm just going to part that because that's fallen over there, and I'll just get some string and tie that in there because we need some space between them so that they don't become mouldy when they do actually fruit. I think this year I'm going to get a good crop out of them. Well, it's starting to get a bit nippy outside, so I've come indoors where the temperature is 25 degrees, and you can really tell because I sowed some seeds about a week ago and they're already up and through the soil. Now, some seeds that have surprised me with the speed of their growth is the squash. That's popped up in a week, and especially just behind that is the melon. Now, melons are notorious. You need heat for melons, and this is a sure sign of how warm the greenhouse has been over the last 7 days. And then just beyond that is the popcorn from the James Wong range. These are the goji berries that I transplanted last week. I sowed these back in January, and they'll stay in the greenhouse now until the last frost, and then I'll put them outdoors, and then we'll get fruit off these next year. The slips of the sweet potato, they're in water, And the idea behind this is so that the roots all form, and then we'll pot them up and we'll keep them in the greenhouse this year. But they've still got a way to go, so I'm just keeping them in this water. I've got 3 different varieties, and this will be the first year that I'll grow these, so it'll certainly be interesting. It won't be long before I'll need to clean the greenhouse to get ready for the tomatoes, which I'll probably be potting on in about 3 weeks' time. It's very easy, even in a garden as small as this, to forget about certain areas. And this is one of those areas that I've forgotten about. And I haven't really grown anything in here whatsoever. I put some plants in here a few months ago, but nothing. So what I'm thinking is to use it, and I'm going to divide the bed up into 2. So we'll just put a little, I'm still going to keep the cold frame on top of it, but I'm going to divide it up into 2, and I'm thinking I will put spinach on one side and rocket on the other. So let me just come around to the side of it. And all I'm going to do is just put the spinach on top, just scatter it. This is also known as broadcasting seed. Broadcasting seed is when you just put it in your hand and just like throw it anywhere. So this will be our spinach bed. Put a few more in, may as well finish the packet. And then just go over it with my hand to make sure that it's covered. And then on the other side, so we just make that a bit deeper, just so I remember. On the other side I'll put some rocket. Because they're in the cold frame, we should have an earlier crop. I can always thin them out later. And again, just put my hand over them. And I'll give them some water. And there we have it. 2 more beds made. Something to look forward to in the summer. I've decided where my sweet corn is going, but it won't be going out for at least another 4 weeks. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down some weed suppressant membrane now, just for something to do, because there's not really, I think I did too much last week, and therefore the jobs are a bit thin on the ground this week. So I'm going to put this down, because once you put sweet corn in, it's very difficult to get in amongst sweet corn to try and get the weeds out. And this is like any other weed suppressant, but the difference is with this one, this company has already put holes in. There you go. So just pop that on the ground, and the holes are already in place for you to pop the plants in. It's a bit windy today, so it's a bit difficult doing this with just one person, but we'll crack on. And there we have it, all now just ready and waiting for the sweet corn. If you want to, you can put some bark on top. Well, that's the end of another week. I don't feel as if we've done a lot this week, but we've put some seeds in, done some weeding, and prepared for the sweet corn. Maybe next week there'll be a bit more jobs to be getting on with. I may put my beans out next week, and hopefully this wind will die down and you'll be able to hear me a lot better. So until next week, from me, bye for now.